so amazing. The introduction could be so long, but I want to introduce Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia to come in.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Now, I'm not sure where you are on your conference, but I hope you're having a hell of a good time. Isn't it great that we can look back that 2 years ago, we could not be doing what we're doing tonight, right, Domingo?
That's right.
We were all locked down. We were doing more than wearing a mask. We were isolated. But in 1 year, President Obama, no, President Biden. I said Obama because I saw you took me there. Has moved us forward. Now, so many of us are fully vaccinated. I think, I forget the latest number of the percentages, I think we're like at 60-something percent. 99.9% of the schools are open. I feel like we need to go find that damn 1% and tell them to please do what they have to open it, right? Unemployment is down. I think it was like at 12 or 14% under Trump, and then we've got it down now to under 4%.
Wow.
We send those stimulus checks, we send the tax credits checks, we send help to the businesses through PPP, we send help to the restaurants. We've done everything we could. I know because I sit on financial services to create lending facilities and ways to help businesses from the small ones to the large ones. And nobody could have done it better than Biden. And I tell you what, throughout all that, he has always had what he calls a whole of government approach to make sure that we have equity. And these days, some of the Republicans are still trying to figure out where to find equity in the dictionary. Because they weren't quite sure what it meant to say, fairness or equal protection. Right, Domingo, we had to teach them a few things. Then all of a sudden, we had to come up with the word equity. And they're trying to figure out what that means. But we know what it means, right? Because we've been fighting for a long time for inclusion, to not just be at the table, but to be recognized, to be heard, to make sure that we're there every step of the way. And that's why it's great that you are here tonight, because LULAC has always been and will continue to be the premier national organization for Latino civil rights. But also as a member of Congress who sees the work of LULAC. And I'll give you a perfect example. I represent the Vanessa Guillen family. You all know the story. When they came to me, we needed to get to work. They needed someone to listen, and I was there. But as we progressed, who was one of the first groups and people to call me to say, we're behind you, and we're gonna help you, was Domingo and LULAC.
That's right.
They immediately offered, was it 20 or 25,000?
25,000.
They immediately helped us with a $25,000 reward for information leading to where had, at the time, remember, she was missing. We were doing the investigation. We were trying to locate her. They put up a $25,000 reward. That helped a lot because we started getting more and more calls. Regrettably, we found out what happened, but it helped speed things up. It helped lift the situation so that the national press could see what was really going on. And then when we were doing that, of course, my dear friend Comadre Vargas Escobar, who sits on Armed Services, and Jackie Spear, were helping me work the federal angle, right, the committees. But that's what it takes, it's the networking and the people that you will meet here today will help you in the future. Much like Veronica and I and many of us through CHC, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, help and work with each other. So that's what this group is about, and I think this is probably the second or third time I've spoken to the group. It's important that you're here because number one, you'll hear from some of us, but more importantly, you'll meet all of you. And the connections and the networking starts now. Because in the end, it doesn't matter what you know, sometimes it really matters who you know.
Yeah.
And even in working in that Vanessa Guillen case, it really mattered who I knew and who I could pick up the phone and call and say, no, you gotta do X. And that's the way it works. So I'm really happy to just be here tonight to welcome you and encourage you. Because as someone, and I was glad you mentioned farm workers, which is a favorite topic of mine, you know. I grew up on a farm, I know what the farm work, I've been out in the fields, I've picked cotton, baled hay, learned how to drive a tractor before I learned how to drive a car. Frankly, I'm still trying to figure out how to drive a car. You know, I still remember Cesar when he came down to Houston and, you know, got him to sign my book, and you remember that. So it's, to me, to just be here knowing that you can come from South Texas, growing up poor, working on a farm, and be here in the United States Congress, itself tells a story. And that's a story that we need to go back and make sure that we tell all our little ones, to make sure they know that they have the opportunity, and our job is to protect that opportunity so we can pass it on. So with that, I'll leave you and say welcome, and I hope there's some Texans in the house. I know Domingos and Rose is here from Texas. All right. All the other states, you all need to move. With that, I'll close and I'll be available. I don't know if we're going to take questions or not, but I'll leave it up to the chair. Thank you.